guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to be talking about part 2 of Gabby Hannah's video and everything that's been going on with her in the past week. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, give it a watch so you're up to date with everything and then come back. Alright, so in this part we're going to be talking about Gabby going off on a few more people, including Trisha Paytas, and what Gabby has said about a docu-series on herself, as well as some questionable tweets she has posted recently. But before we get into it, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and turn on your post notifications, and please give this video a thumbs up. Alright, let's get into it. So a quick recap on the whole Gabby situation. Last week, Gabby was talking about how her poetry has been dragged on the internet. She then started to name people like Rachel Oates, calling her names and posting like 100 stories on Instagram. Rachel ended up blocking Gabby, then her Instagram got temporarily removed due to massive spam reporting by Gabby's fans. Meanwhile, some tea and commentary channels were expressing their thoughts on the situation on Twitter, one of which was Angelica Oles. Gabby claimed she was finally defending herself against the people who've bullied her for so long. She started going off on Angelica as well, calling her abusive, exploitative, and many other names. Angelica addressed everything on Twitter. It's still up there, but she also briefly talked about the situation in one of her recent videos. A lot of people have been concerned with Gabby's mental state. After all of this, Gabby moved on to a few other people, and now we're going to be talking about them. So after the Angelica fiasco, Gabby talked about someone who texted her to apologize, in her words, for liking a tweet that was about her. She said that the person was probably scared to talk about this. She was like, I'm not going to put him on blast, I'm not going to name him. And then she continued to say that the person was talking really nice to her, saying, if you need to chat, my door is open. Then Gabby said that she held him accountable for contributing to a hate train against her, and she says the person snapped on her and blocked her. Now, the person in question is Oscar Wilde, not the author, but he liked the following tweet from Nick Snyder saying, the fact that Gabby Hannah still thinks drama like this will sell whatever she comes out with is proof she hasn't grown it with her audience. It's not a shadow ban, it's a everyone's moved on ban, except the stans, but honestly, just look up where stan came from. And actually, Gabby responded to that tweet saying, why did Oscar Wilde like this tweet? LMAO, congrats. His verified like finally got my attention for you, Nick. You have something to talk about now. Go run, make a video. And after Gabby mentioned this on her stories, Oscar shared their DM saying, this girl has brought me into this for simply liking a tweet. Then when extending comfort and any type of empathy, she tells me to publicly apologize amongst an entire novel of my wrongdoings. She tells me to publicly apologize. I cannot. Trying to blast me for blocking her? What the f? And here's some texts between the two. So remember how Gabby said she wasn't going to put him on blast in her initial Instagram stories about him? Well, people took a closer look at the clips, and you can see a little @ on her story with Oscar's Instagram handle. The fact that she said, I'm not gonna name that person, and then purposely tags him with this teeny tiny @ like, wow, that's so petty. Afterwards, she talked about him more on Instagram, but she never admitted that she lied in this situation.
I'm not going to blast the person because he didn't do it publicly and he's clearly just like nervous. Somebody liked a tweet in support of the people who have been exploiting and mentally abusing me, and I responded to it, and then he DM'd me and he was like, hey, I don't want any problems, it seems like you're going through it, just so you know, I'm here to chat, it's an open door if you're not okay. So then I responded and I held him accountable to his portion of it, and I was like, yeah, like, you contributed to an ongoing hate train. And then he snapped on me and blocked me. So he didn't actually want to be a listening ear. He actually wasn't offering support. It was performative because he's actually just scared that I'll hold him accountable to his own contribution to a toxic culture. And then what he said to me, this is gaslighting, is that I was, the reason that I get the treatment I get is because of the way that I responded to him. And the way I responded to him was like, yeah, he DM'd me because he felt bad. He should feel bad about what he did, because he admitted to me that he actually didn't know anything that was going on, and he like kind of jumped ahead and supported something without really understanding. That's toxic and that's up. So I was like, yeah, that like sucked what you did. And then he was like, basically and blocked me. Like, I don't actually care. You just don't want me to blast you on social media, which I'm not going to, because I don't blast everyone. I blast people who publicly degrade me. That's the difference.
Next on Gabbie's hit list was a YouTuber named Dominic DeAngelis who commented on the situation, but Gabbie brought up a situation where he passed her at a Smash or Pass video. Smash or Pass was a popular game a few years ago, along with F, Marry, Kill, YouTubers edition. Here's the video in question.
The Gabbie show.
Pass. Why would you pass on Gabbie? That's not my type, man. Shit. She's not my type either. She's not Asian. So...
Next up to bat is Dominic DeAngelis. He had to come at me on Twitter, said that I was the worst person he's ever met in LA. So let me tell you about the day I met him. So before I met him, he played a game of Smash or Pass publicly on YouTube. And when my picture came up, he dehumanized me and demeaned me. You know, like a misogynistic, disgusting piece of shit. Acts as if he could have a chance with me anyway. So at a party, he approached me like nothing was wrong, and I confronted him about it. And I said I didn't like that, and he was like, oh, come on, it's just games. And I said, well, you're too short for me to how do you like being judged on your physical appearance? And then he stormed off and didn't like me anymore. You nasty piece of...
He only said that she wasn't his type and didn't comment on her appearance or anything. He just said, not my type. Gabbie actually posted this on her Twitter about Dominic saying, by the way, I'm seeing all your comments saying you don't know who Dom the Bomb is. This is the dude who publicly shamed me for my physical appearance because I wasn't fuckable enough. One person replies saying as if he's in the slightest. Gabbie says he's literally not. That's what I told him when he approached me, and now he thinks I'm a terrible person for doing to him what he did to me. I'm supposed to be sad I don't fit in with these people, LMAO. Hey Dom, I didn't appreciate the misogynistic and hurtful comments about my personal appearance. I'm not fake like all of you, so when you tried to speak to me at a party, I let you know how I feel. I know people like you aren't used to that, as if Dom could get at me. Dom tweets saying, Gabbie is top 3 worst human beings I've met in LA. I think that just needs to be said. Gabbie replies saying, you dehumanized me in a dirty game of public Smash or Pass and then approached me in public, and I confronted you about it instead of pretending it wasn't disgusting. And you got offended because I called you short and asked how it felt to be judged on your looks. Then you got mad at me. Dom replies saying, you just weren't my type. You were a bully then and now. You proved my point. You should take a break from social media. Gabbie says, this guy, for no reason, tweeted something negative about me while it was trending to do so, and I responded. There was also a video where she mocked his height at a party, and a few videos where she played Smash or Pass as well. Oh, and also she commented on the appearance of women in a negative way. So out of the Oscar and Dominic situation, people are calling out Gabbie on being a hypocrite and blaming others for something that she's also done, but like worse.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. So you passed me.
I did.
So you mean to tell me that if tonight we got a little bit drunk and I was like, hey, I'm really interested in you. You think you're out of my league?
I don't say you're out of my league. No.
But you would pass.
Honestly, I'll do anything when I'm drunk.
Just when you're drunk.
No.
Is it the fact that I'm 3 inches taller than you? Is that the reason you're a little intimidated? Is that why you're going fast? So I think we all know that if Dom had a chance, Dom would, right? Dom would. Sure, most of you have seen by now the Smash or Pass challenge. I think it is gross and strange and weird, and I think it's a very interesting path that YouTube has taken. And now it's YouTubers judging other YouTubers and saying whether or not they would them. So this is a challenge that I wasn't really into partaking in.
I think she's hot. I don't even know.
Why?
That's so Raven. I thought she was like attractive.
Raven? Simone? No, she was not.
Moving on, this probably could be a video on its own due to so many clips and tweets and TikToks and other stuff. Gabbie went after Trisha, who, by the way, is going by they, them pronouns as of recent, which will also take a role in a few of the tweets. But anyway, let's unravel this one. So we all know that Trisha and Gabbie have had some beef behind them. I've covered it all on my channel. If you're not familiar, you can watch these videos for context. Gabbie and Trisha also made up, I guess, and squashed the beef earlier this year when they got together on Gabbie's podcast, sort of. So while Gabbie was going off on people, Trisha shared a few TikToks where they didn't name Gabbie, but it was obvious who it was about. Honestly, Trisha was pretty respectful, and for the first time, they're acting mature about the situation. Here's the clip.
If someone doesn't like or appreciate or get what you're doing, whether that be music, fashion, dancing, YouTube, TikToks, poetry, like podcast, whatever it is, if someone doesn't like it, like, they're entitled not to like it. Like, why go so hard to try and convince someone that they're wrong for not liking something you do? And allowing people to get to you because they dislike something you do is ultimately a disservice to yourself, robbing you of your creative capabilities. This goes for everyone. Be proud of what you put out, and who cares about the rest?
And then Trisha commented an emoji on a TikTok that bashed her, saying they're not talented. Gabbie then went off of that of an emoji. She said, Trisha is upset because I called her untalented. Gabbie also called Trisha a fake, hypocritical, as well as a liar, and obsessed with her. She just said she's gaslighting, manipulative, and just so much. Those are just a few.
Trisha Paytas is upset that I called her untalented, even though she's allowed to have an opinion about me. She says everyone can have an opinion. She has an opinion about my music. But what's this? You're making fun of me online, you hypocritical fake.
After this simmered down a bit, Trisha shared the voice memos Gabbie sent them. They tried to keep it civil, asked Gabbie publicly to leave them alone. Trisha also posted 2 videos, one with the voice memos. The second one was debunking some of Gabbie's statements, as well as a plea to be left alone due to all the stress Gabbie has put on Trisha. And a lot of people agreed with Trisha. Many were praising them for being so calm, not lashing out on Gabbie.
One question I have for Trisha is, she's posting all of these super manipulative, fake as posts about, I just want her to be well. I thought we were good after the podcast, even though she continued to talk about me. If you really want me to be well and you're so concerned about my mental health, why don't you shut the about me? You literally can't keep me out of your mouth because you're obsessed with me. You think about me all the time. You admitted to watching all of my content obsessively. Just leave me alone. Move on. Let me go. Drop me. So then somebody commented on my TikTok that I was trying to be Trisha Paytas, and I said I'm Trisha Paytas if she was talented and happy. And then that sent her into a tailspin, despite the fact that she's been mocking me, saying that my music career is going nowhere, that I'm the worst songwriter of all time, even though she said I don't write my own songs, that my music is too specific to me and nobody can relate to it. And I'm 30. I'll never get a deal. Do you remember that one?
People are saying Gabbie is jealous of Trisha for the recent redemption, since Trisha seems to be more liked as of recent, with frenemies and speaking out on topics like David and James. Trisha also said Gabbie can post the full broadcast. They had nothing to hide or asked Gabbie to edit stuff out, since Gabbie kept on saying they're not going to keep Trisha's secret anymore. Through this whole thing, Gabbie has tried to prove that Trisha was lying about them not being friends. If you remember, part of their beef was that Trisha never liked Gabbie or was close to her for Gabbie to be saying things that she said. And after that podcast earlier this year, Trisha made a few videos explaining the beef is squashed, but they still don't want to be friends with Gabbie. And she also explained Gabbie was trying to convince them that certain things happened and that really triggered Trisha due to her mental health. Trisha claimed that they asked for proof because they didn't remember those things happening, and the whole encounter just messed with her mind, since Trisha has shared that they have issues with reality sometimes. And here's some of the tweets.
Oh, and I also wanted to quickly say the things that I was wrong about, because since I couldn't sleep last night, this was all I was thinking about. I just was kind of checking for myself. Something I was wrong about was, like, we definitely did not have Thanksgiving plans. Like, I went back and looked at that, and I definitely inflated that in my head, where it was more just like, I think you were spending Thanksgiving with Sean's family, and I said none of my friends were in town. You're like, oh my god, I wish I knew. I would have just, like, stayed home and we could have eaten together. And, like, that's what you said to adults, and at the end of the day, that shit.
And here is some of what Gabbie said. There were too many tweets. If I've missed some, I'm sorry. Everything is up on her Twitter so far. She also posted some text receipts. So Gabbie shared what she is working on. She's working on a docuseries on herself, possibly Shane Dawson style, who knows. She's posted a few tweets like, "It's time to tell some stories," a photo with 5 phones saying she has all the receipts. We know that Gabbie has stirred the pot a few times when she has a new project. Is that why she's been off on so many people lately? She claims that she's finally standing up for herself, though people have debunked half of her statements. And also, a few days ago, Gabbie also went on a live stream on Instagram where she talked why she did everything. She basically said she wanted to be trending on Twitter, but she didn't do it for attention? Alright, sure, Jan. Gabbie also said that she doesn't care about what everybody had to say to her about her response towards people. People are asking Gabbie to get off of social media and speak help, also asking why aren't her close friends and boyfriend not doing anything about it. Her fans have attacked a lot of the people she went after, false reporting accounts, and Gabbie shared on Patreon that she feels sorry and embarrassed for the past week and of her actions. On her Patreon, she said, "I'm having a hard time. Usually when I finish a video, I never look back. Having to re-watch, to re-edit is unbearable. I'm having a lot of second thoughts and wish I didn't announce it. Honestly, I'm feeling really down and embarrassed." T-Spill replies saying she should be embarrassed. She's a 30-year-old adult that needs to control her actions online. Plus distracted driving because her rant couldn't wait 2 seconds. I hope she gets offline and actually gets help. And that is that, you guys. If there's anything else I didn't cover, let me know. Also, are you going to be watching Gabbie's docuseries? Do you think she has rightfully defended herself, or did she just go way overboard? I don't know. Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I post new videos every single week. Alright, bye.